Hello, kiddos. Okay, well, last time we saw God talking to the snake and telling him what was going to happen because of the mess that he had made and all of the terrible things that he had brought about by making man and woman sin. Now God turns to the woman in the next verse, and he says, "Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception." In other words, he says, I'm going to make it very difficult for you to have children. It's going to be painful. It's going to be a hard thing to do. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Okay, these are big words, but basically what he's saying is it's going to be hard to have babies. You are going to have times of conflict with your husband. Before, Adam and Eve never, ever had an argument. They always saw everything the same. They were perfect friends. But now there's going to be problems. There's going to be differences between the husband and the wife. And they're going to sometimes see things differently and maybe even argue and complain. And there's going to be a new and bad attitude that wasn't there before because of the sin. Then he looks to Adam and he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, because you listened to her, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Okay, so he says, because you ate the food, or the fruit rather, and listened to your wife when she encouraged you to do what wasn't true, it wasn't right, he said, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. So then he told the woman that being a mother is going to be very, very difficult, and even a wife there's just going to be problems now. And then he tells the man, when you go out to work, it's going to be hard work. You're going to sweat. You're going to get tired. It's going to get painful. It's going to be a hard life because you're going to eat what you get from the ground. It's not going to be waiting for you now, perfectly all done like God had before in the Garden of Eden. Now you're going to have to work and work hard in order to eat. And then verse 18, thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. So he said, not only is it going to be hard work, but you're going to have to be weeding, and there are going to be all kinds of plants that you don't want, things that just bug you and irritate you and make your work harder, and it's going to come out of the ground. And all of this is because of your sin. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. So now he's explaining what it means. Not only is life going to be hard and painful, difficult, and there's going to be arguments and differences of opinion between man and wife, but the ground is gonna be hard to work your ground and work and get your food, and then you're gonna go back to the dust, just like I made you from the dust. God said, just like I got the dust and I formed you and breathed the breath of life in you. When you die, your body is gonna go back to the dust. And so that's what happens all the time. Everybody dies, and eventually their body turns back into dust. That's the way it works. Well, fortunately, we are not only bodies, but God has given us a spirit. He has given us a soul. That's the part of us you can't see. We live inside our bodies, but we are not just our bodies. Our bodies are temporary. That means they don't last forever. They go back to the dirt, they go back to earth, but we continue to live and continue to exist, and we actually go back to God who made us. Okay, so we'll look into those things later, but these are some of the consequences for Adam and Eve of having sinned and eaten the forbidden fruit. Okay, goodbye, love you.